Hey guys, this is Jackson, and oh my god, look at that shadow. That's trippy. I'm staring right into the sun, which might not be the best angle. Maybe I can go for something like that. I'm just going to give you a quick update on our project, which is titled Esoteric Instinct. If you've been following the channel, you would have seen about a month ago I put out a pitch deck video where I ran through a slideshow presentation about a project that I wanted to make. It's titled Esoteric Instinct, and it is a multiplayer magic-based battle royale. You play as witches and wizards who are demigods who are incarnated as a sort of, what would you call it, like an archetypal incarnation of the zodiac signs. So you got your Aries and your Taurus and your Gemini and etc. etc. The game, it has some other spiritual themes that sort of underlie it, like the whole zodiac thing. So things like some tarot cards and some fucking magic and shit like that. So I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, you can watch that video if you're interested, where you can see like sort of the game design and the visual references for how we want to make it. But basically this video is just a quick update on how that's going. So it's been a few weeks now, and we've got a bit of a team going. We have about 10 people. We have some programmers, we have some artists, we have some musicians, some sound designers, and a bit of business help as well. So it's really cool. We've spent the last couple of weeks, me and the other programmers, basically nutting out the foundations of our system. We've had a look at some different asset packs on the marketplace to try and minimize our sort of startup costs, like investment and energy costs, to see if we could get some inventory systems and some movement abilities and shit like that going off the bat. Unfortunately, we haven't found anything quite solid yet for an issue that we've run into, which is client. It's called client network prediction. Basically, what we want in our game is for the movement to be very fast. We want it to be very responsive. We want the game to feel slick and quick, and because it's a multiplayer game, basically we have to do some magic inside of our engine, which accounts for what we call client prediction and network latency. So basically, if you're playing a multiplayer game and you input an ability, the game has to then send a message to a server, because Unreal Engine games are built on a server authoritative basis, and then the server needs to check if the conditions are met for that ability to fire, and then they need to go back to the client. And so basically what that introduces is network latency between, say you input a dash or something. It introduces some lag between when you do the input and when the dash actually executes. And that's okay for some games. It's probably okay for a lot of games, but for this game in particular, it's very fast paced. And so we've decided that we need to use a framework which accounts for network prediction, client prediction. And so what we've ultimately decided with is to go with the gameplay ability system, which is called GAS in Unreal Engine, which has some frameworks in that already. So that's our choice at the moment. We've settled on that, and basically now we're just in the process of getting things moving on that front and building the foundations for our code, and to get some basic abilities going, some movement abilities, some damage, and some other systems. So that's sort of our plan. We've got some music that's been made already. We've got a couple of tracks from our musicians, which I think are epic. We've got some smooth beats in there, and we've got some heavy metal instrumentals, which are really cool. It's a very unique sound for the project. We also have a concept artist who's been doing some great work on our characters as well, which look really fantastic, I think. And we're just in the process of doing some recruiting for some other parts too. So we need some, I'll go into the roles that we need to fill in a moment. But basically our next target is we want to get a working prototype going in about 3 months. 3 months is sort of what I think we can do it in, based on my experience with games in the past. We need to, in that time, we want to get a working prototype. So that means it's going to have a lobby. Players can connect to each other using a Steam testing app ID, and we can test it in-house and with alpha testers. We're going to have a map and some basic gameplay, so things like dashing and arcana, so casting spells and damaging each other, and a system to handle death, and basically the game mode. So, spectating and whatever. Just very, very, very basic at the moment. This is the system actually that will which will consume the rest of the development cycle, because the whole game is basically different combat and mechanics in that. So this prototype in 3 months is going to be very bare bone basic: movement, damage, a couple of different abilities. So those two things, and then basically, so lobby, game mode, and map, and then basically it just loops, and then you end up back at the lobby at the start, and then you can play through again and again and again and again. And so the idea is that we want to get a playable prototype done ASAP, so that we can test our networking logic for one, so that we can make sure the game feels very fluid and responsive. And then once we've got that basic framework, then we can test if it's fun actually. So we can look at the mechanics that we've built that are actually fun. We can try out the abilities that we've made in the gameplay ability system and see if they are actually fun to do and which ones are the most fun and what sort of dynamics are the most fun when we actually put them into practice. And then from there, we're going to make another plan and iterate, and then look at doing some more extended, longer period of game design where we might hire some extra help and hopefully get some investor money once we've got that prototype to sort of show off, and then we can get a bit more what would you say? I don't want to say serious because I don't like the word serious, but a bit more intentional and get a bit deeper into the game and flesh it out so that it's got some more features and is really fun and really polished. So that's sort of our plan at the moment. In terms of what we're hiring for, we could use some gameplay ability system programmers. We do have some programmers already, but we could always use more help on that front. Some C++ programmers would be great. We need some 3D character and environment artists. We need some map building help, some level design, and yeah, people to sculpt our characters and to do animation. Animation would be good. And just general blueprints help, I think, is always good. So, you know, people who can do animation blueprints, and shit like that. We could also use potentially some social media and outreach help. So anybody who might be a wizard with, like, say, YouTube or Twitch or X or whatever people pay attention to games on these days. I don't really get much time for that myself anymore. I just end up spending most of my time developing rather than playing, which is fine because I do enjoy that. I do enjoy it a lot more. It's like the ultimate game, really, developing your own games. So yeah, those sort of areas. Some gas programming, C++, some blueprints, environment design, 3D concept artists, and some social media and outreach, and potentially some business and accounting and things. So those are sort of our main gaps. But with all that said, if you are interested in this project and you feel like you resonate with the vision and you like the style of it, you like the spiritual themes, you like the fast-paced combat, you like games like Risk of Rain 2, Nier Automata, what are other games? Those are sort of the main two ones actually that are sort of inspiring this. It's like Risk of Rain 2 stacking abilities with sort of characters and aesthetic to Nier Automata. And then a bit of wizardry stuff like Wizard of Legend, which is a 2D game, but sort of the gameplay is a little bit similar and sort of visual style to Hogwarts Legacy, I think, made in Unreal Engine. So if you resonate with that style and you want to work on the project, you know, reach out to me and let's chat. You know, you don't need to necessarily fit one of the specific roles that we've got, although that would be great. If you just have the energy for the project and you feel like you can bring something unique to it that we don't have, that'd be awesome, man. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it from us. Hopefully we will have a update video soon with some potentially some playable material in 3 months, and yeah, in the meantime, some videos of any gameplay and art that we might have had developed. So yeah, hopefully hoping to get out a development log soon. So that's it, guys. Reach out if you want to get involved, and thanks for watching. Peace.